Hey everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going over to Bitcoin. We've got a CoinsKid crew. So I do think, the clues are in other charts, and this is why I do show you the confluence of other analysis in different charts. And I'm not just a one chart guy. I do obviously focus on the trades on certain charts and things like that, but I do try to draw in a bigger picture for analysis to upside and downside. So obviously Bitcoin is going through a correction at the moment, but we do have one of the main key charts, which I do pay attention to for you every single day, is the S&P 500. Okay, so the S&P 500 has done exactly what I thought it would do. It's took out this high here. Okay, now I remember a few weeks ago when everyone was super bearish, one of the best YouTubers in the space, Alessio Rastani right there, a lot of people were concerned. They did ask me to make a video, an update on the S&P 500, and I did at that point, and I looked back at the analysis and I said to you, one of the key things within this chart that Alessio's ignoring is this particular cross there, the golden cross, the 20 and 55 EMA golden cross, the buy and go to the beat signal, where typically we break from it, we fall back to it, and then we go again. And I've shown you many instances of this, providing you're in a golden cross. The data of losing the 20-week EMA, the sort of kiss of death scenario that Alessio talks about, is actually very weak because of this particular scenario, the golden cross, okay, which has occurred 18 times since the 1950s and has always led to a major move to the upside, taking out the local high before losing the low. So the data and statistics was on the the side here. Now obviously this is not completely broke out yet, but this is confluence my analysis that I do think that crypto markets and Bitcoin especially is going through a blow off top phase, a final phase, a big push up before a monumental crash, basically some kind of, I don't know what it is, but there's something in the charts, and I've been relaying this to a very long time for you, that I think we're in some kind of big melt up in risk. So what we've done here for the S&P 500, we've took out the July high. Okay, so like I said to you a few weeks ago, the 1 2 3 4 5 correction coming back down, we never lost this green line, which my invalidation of the impulsive wave 1. So I think we've had a macro wave 4, and this is your final fifth wave, and then you've got your big ABC zigzag whatever correction, and the S&P 500 is looking to correct at that point. So is it a case that Bitcoin is following with the S&P 500, because obviously it's risk? Absolutely possible, but at the minute we're tracing for Bitcoin, we are pulling back, but we've not lost any key significant support at the moment for me to get super bearish on Bitcoin. Just like a few weeks ago, I did relay this drawdown and this pullback for you. Although we came down below the 20 and turned it into resistance on this chart, we was looking at previous historical data going back many years and decades, that in actual fact it's not that bearish, okay, and we should just pay attention to the data. So far so good. We've had a positive reaction from there. I think it was around about 12% opportunity, wasn't it, at the time, and currently we're up, we whacked into the 12% and we've took it out, currently 13% up on that opportunity when everyone was really bearish. On the hourly time frame there, I did tweet and make a video for you, an emergency update. I think it was on the Saturday or the Friday. I did do an emergency update for you. There was a beautiful bullish divergence and falling wedge on the hourly time frame, and we've absolutely bolted from that. So far so good. The the Elliott wave count here stands that we've had a 1, flat 2, 3, overlapping zigzag wave 4, pretty much like the macro 4 here, and right now this is your final fifth wave coming up. This is your blow off top for the S&P 500. So in theory, if I'm correct, and this is a blow off top phase for the S&P 500, then in theory Bitcoin should be going with that because it's risk associated, basically. So we'll keep an eye on the S&P 500 as best we can, but like I said to you, when things happen in other charts, it gives us clues. For example, I know Bitcoin was correcting in midsummer right there, but we got the clue in this chart, which I relayed to you at the time, that that's a very positive statement for this particular chart. We've looked at the historical data right there. This particular golden cross, the 20 and 55 week EMA, has not failed this chart since the 1950s. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at, a big blow off top phase, and I think Bitcoin potentially follow suit right now. So let's dive into the Bitcoin chart and see what we can see. Okay, so quickly before I do dive into the Bitcoin video, I did a poll on Twitter the other day, and again, please do follow me on Twitter, because I do post a lot of content on Twitter and the Discord, and it's just easy for me to do so, get quick updates out if I spot anything, because I've not got a crystal ball. Things can happen. I do post trade setups and ideas and things like that, and opportunities as and when I see them, so do please follow me on Twitter. If you've not got a Twitter account, just create one. It's really simple. I keep saying Twitter, it's not Twitter, it's X. I do apologize. Do follow me on X. So yeah, just get involved. So right now I did do a poll. There are 3 options for Bitcoin crypto that I can think of, and I think a lot of people are looking at these options as well. Which one do you think the current price action is leading us into? So the 3 options that I do actually see at the moment, and there's no bias, is a bear market ABC, that we're currently in an ABC correction to the all-time high in November of 2021 before a monumental move to the downside. That's absolutely possible, but I think the thing that invalidates that for me at the moment is the fact that the November high was not the true top for me. Okay, I've shown you multiple times with confluence of many other charts. For example, let's take a look at the XRP chart. You can see it's an ABC from April, May 2021 right there with Bitcoin and equally VeChain. So many of the altcoins at that point have been an ABC zigzag. So I think that we've got confluence in many other charts as well as the S&P 500 that we are, in my opinion, in the blow off top phase. Okay, so we're looking at S&P 500 as confluence, and obviously the invalidation is there. If we do start to roll and take out support, then the invalidation will ring true right there. So I know a lot of people voted at this point. We're in a typical 4-year cycle for Bitcoin where we shouldn't expect a big blow off top, a big final push in the crypto markets until sort of late 2025, I think it is. At that point, we roll into another bear. But I think if we're in this blow off top phase, it's going to completely catch everyone off guard. But not the CoinsKid crew, because this has been something we're looking at, in the confluence of many other charts as well for a very, very long time right now. I've been drumming on about this scenario for a very long time, and I do find confluence in many other charts of this analysis. And okay, so that's my vote. Basically, my vote is the blow off top. That we're in 42%. So I can guarantee that this time last year, if I made this exact poll, the bear market ABC would have been first, the typical 4-year cycle would have been second, and the blow off top would have had something like 1%. But right now, a lot of people are actually beginning to catch up to this particular scenario playing out, the blow off top, this phase, the final fifth wave for Bitcoin. Okay, and the confluence, like I said to you, is in the S&P 500. So there's no bias. Obviously, if a tides change, I'll immediately alert you, but at the moment we're not. So let's dive into the Bitcoin chart and see what we can see. Okay, so look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame. I have posted a trade setup today for the CoinsKid crew in the Discord, but I'll show you that particular setup in the video as well today. But if you want to get the earlier warning signs, the trade setups, do jump into the Discord right there. So obviously I've told them where the stop loss is for this particular trade and so on and so forth, but there's no guarantees that the trade will play out. And again, this is trading, this is why you always apply stop losses, but there is striking similarities with what's going on in this particular correction right now between this correction and the big macro correction that we've gone through. So there is a competition that I'm running for the CoinsKid crew on BitGet. The link's in each and every single video description. Do click that link, get involved. There's a lovely little prize pool for the CoinsKid crew. Okay, so right now what we've got, in my opinion at the moment anyway, in the data, is the fact that we might have a little micro ABC there for Bitcoin, and it's no different from this macro ABC. So within the C wave, we're looking for 5 waves. Okay, now one thing at the moment that's sort of steer me away from that, if we do start to break down any greater and we start to fall in this ribbon, then I think we're looking at a macro correction, not necessarily a micro correction. When I say a macro correction, I mean something like this, because you can see the clues are in the charts. This is a macro correction, okay, and the clues in the charts just there. Look at that big massive macro correction, and the clue was falling into the ribbon. So until we start to fall into the ribbon, I think we may have a micro correction that's possibly complete here for Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm going to go through this with you. Okay, so I think that what we've got in that little micro move here is no difference from this big macro move. So in the summer here in April, we did do a regular ABC. There's your A wave, there was your regular B wave, and then we was looking for the completion of the C wave when everyone was getting maximum bearish. Like I said to you, we're looking for 5 waves. We've got that. We've got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the final 5th wave down like that for Bitcoin. Okay, equally within there was a beautiful bump and run pattern, wasn't there? That level of resistance, like I said to you, at this point, literally the day after that crash, I did make a video for you, and equally the tweeter, the X post, sorry, I did make that then post for you, that this is an opportunity. If you put your stop loss on the previous pivot low, in theory we should come up, break out, back test, take out that high, and we've got another impulsive move here for Bitcoin. Okay, so that's been an amazing journey for the CoinsKid crew, myself included. We make a lot of money on that particular trade, going against our mentality. So we had a big irregular ABC zigzag correction, flat correction. I said to you, I think that's a B wave false eye, it's a bull trap. The confluence is the DXY, the S&P 500, and equally Ethereum. Okay, so I think at this point, because the S&P 500 breaking out, do what's doing, I think we've got a clue that this is your blow off top. This is your big mania phase, your big push up for Bitcoin. Okay, but there's no bias. If the data suggests otherwise, then obviously we have to respect the data. So what I'm looking at right now on the micro, on the 4 hour, I'm going to show you. So we've got the A, the B, the C. Within the C wave here, this last drop before the big push to the upside, taking out the highs, we had the 5 waves. Okay, and the bullish divergence as well on the daily time frame right there. Do you remember? We've got a beautiful bullish divergence, and I did relay this to you as confluence of the big analysis to a big break to the upside. We've got the lower lows, in the price action, and then we got the higher lows in the RSI. So there's a bullish divergence to back up my theory that that correction was done at that point on that day. Beautiful opportunity for the CoinsKid crew against the herd mentality. So at the minute, I'm looking at this as a potential scenario that's identical to what we've gone through on the hourly time frame. If we take a look, we've got a rinse repeat here of an ABC correction at this point. Okay, so here's your A, this is your B, and this is your C wave, which is possibly complete. So I'm looking to do to confirm that as that's complete. Obviously hold this low, so this could be an area to put your stop loss today on BitGet, for that particular competition right there. Put your stop loss on that pivot low, which is currently sitting at 40190 on this particular chart. So if we do start to break down below that, obviously it's going to invalidate this basically this trade setup. So within this C wave right now, like I said to you, is your A, is your irregular B, and this is your C. What we do have is 5 waves, just like the big macro one from April to, I think it was July, wasn't it, or August, that we completed. Sorry, April to September, I do apologise. We've got your 1, you got your 2, here's your 3, potential wave 4, that was your final 5th wave, and right now this is impulsive. So you've got possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and right now you're coiling up, starting to turn around here through the ribbon, basically through the hourly ribbon. Look at that, start to turn around. If we hold this low, this could be a beautiful little trade to come back up and take out this local high. Then you've got another impulsive move. And what we've done here for Bitcoin, since this move here just there, we've had an ABC irregular correction again, on the micro, just like the big macro one. So it's an opportunity. Obviously there's no guarantees, but right now if you're looking for a perfect trade, a very minimal stop loss from this point right now, you could be looking at a minimal stop loss of around about 1.99% for the next big leg up here for Bitcoin against the herd. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that update. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Obviously invalidation right now of this particular move up is 40190, or whatever that low is that we've put in on your BitGet chart right there. Okay, or your Bybit chart. It's entirely up to you. Take care everyone, back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.